we've got stories to tell, how the human race should be erased from space. We're horrible people and deserve to die. If you don't believe me, then I'll tell you why. We've caused genocides and mass extinction, humans causing bad pollution. Amazon is burning down, California's on shaky ground. Ted Cruz in Cancun, people deny the moon. Gun crime is on the rise, hypocrisy and evil lies. Leadership is on vacation, God is doing tax evasion. Police increasing jurisdiction, overdue for extinction.
Welcome back to a brand new era of Overdue for Extinction, the podcast where we set out to prove that the human race is overdue for an extinction level event. I am your you good?
You're the one.
I am your ever constant host, Anthony. And as you may have noticed, Justin has undergone a sex change and is quite lovely now. Oh, Justin, how are you doing?
My name is George. I got picture proof.
As you've probably been able to tell, this is not Justin. Justin and Taya, unfortunately, had to quit due to personal things going on in their lives that they were no longer able to keep up on the obligation for the podcast. So we kind of regrouped, and this is actually Caity, who I have talked about very briefly in a couple posts, warming up to getting going on bringing back the podcast. So here we are. Caity is one of my sister-in-laws, as is Karen, who is editing this and probably going to kill us for having a 3-minute intro of not actually accomplishing anything.
But it's not 10 minutes.
That's true. It's not 10 minutes. In my defense with Justin, the last time we did the 10-minute intro before we started the actual recording, we started doing the recording, but then we decided that it got really social political, and we're like, let's tone it back down and restart again. So we kind of reneged on that and restarted. But you're going to fill in for indefinitely, hopefully. Are you excited so far? I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot about what you should expect from this yet.
I like the surprise aspect.
There's a lot of it.
Look, not being prepared is more fun.
But in going through your being unprepared, you also haven't listened to any of the episodes before.
No, I haven't gotten there.
Because you're a disloyal piece of shit.
I'm sorry. I have to be in studio 6 days a week. It's not even fair. 6 days a week.
Do you want to tell what studio you have to be in, or would you rather leave that for people to fill in the blanks themselves?
I don't know if I should put that.
You don't have to say who you work for, just what.
A photography studio?
Okay, well,
a commercial corporate photography studio, not a private photographer.
I did say in the post teasing that we were getting ready to record that this was not in fact a casting couch. So I thought it might be important to include what studio you're from, or rather what you do in general.
Just a basic corporate portraits photography studio. Like Portrait Innovations.
Well, as you probably guessed from the conversations that me and Justin and Ty have had in the group chat for the podcast, this is absolutely a 100% safe, child-friendly podcast that you can just, play out loud in the studio. I'm sure it'll be fine.
That's why I got stickers on my charger and my laptop. Duh.
All right. Well, I'm glad to have you. Glad to get this going again. So, the one thing that might be different for you guys, in addition to, we just started doing video when Justin and I were doing this, and Ty joined, and we hadn't got her on video yet. We are now on video. Cait and I are going to record in person, I think permanently. I don't think we're going to do remote at all. So, we are trying to work in some new things. We have a green screen now. Karen is hopefully going to be able to utilize that with her knowledge. Though she claims it is limited knowledge, it is far more than I have. So I'm leaving that to her to do all the figuring out. And hopefully we'll display the podcast logo, pictures of the people we're talking about, the 5-star or 1-star dummy reviews, and so on and so on. And then eventually maybe we'll get to doing video and stuff as well. So no pressure, Karen. All the work is on you.
We love you.
So we will be on YouTube still. I started doing that the last several episodes before we took another break, doing another changeover with cast members. And you may be able to see us on your Spotify player now. As far as I'm aware, there's a way to upload video to Spotify, so you don't have to go to YouTube and still give us the listens that we need. So, is there anything you want to say before we get started?
Hi.
Hi, indeed. We are socially lubricating ourselves. We have some alcohols of choice. I was criticized for mine because apparently I'm not alcoholic enough for you.
Okay, we got a 6% Beast, and we got a 13.9%. The Warhead's Four Loko. Like,
okay,
come on.
Four Loko, there's so much garbage in Four Loko.
I don't care.
Oh my
You know
God.
what? Like, we're all gonna die at some point. I might as well enjoy my life while I live it, right?
Right, I guess so. So Beast is what I'm drinking. It's the Monster alcohol. I was actually talking with, I think it was Russ in the group chat with me and Kristen and his girlfriend Sarah, and we were talking about if drinking Monster makes you a Kyle that has to punch drywall, what's the result from drinking the alcohol version? And then I thought about it for a second, and I thought, well, if drinking regular Monster makes you punch drywall, drinking alcohol, the alcohol pretty well implies you have to punch your children. So it's like Kyle squared. So it's, you know, it's good. It's not fucking 13.9% alcohol, but it's
Hey,
fine.
man, it does the job.
It should do something for me, hopefully. So, to get things started off, to help us warm up, loosen up a little bit, I've got an icebreaker for you. So, the icebreakers in the past, we've tried doing Would You Rathers, were the kind of the primary one. We've tried to do kind of thought-provoking, moral conundrums, things like that. And then we've done jokes, so we're going to try to change it up. I've got a couple new ideas. Today, just to keep things simple. Are you good? You said we could all die at some point, and then you started on me.
No, I just have a tickle in my throat.
It's going to be a really bad first introduction episode to you, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make the ratings good, so
A tickle in my throat.
that's how it starts.
It's the allergy season. Listen, the store was so humid today, they didn't turn on the air. Leave me be.
The world is so humid. It's trying to kill us for what we're doing to it, and I don't blame it. Hence why we are doing a podcast about being overdue for extinction.
I mean, but like, think about it. The most American thing ever is all of this air pollution that we're having from the Canadian wildfires right now. And then let's go light off fireworks and add more air pollution.
Now, I do want to add, before you start shit-talking Canada, we do have a few Canadian listeners, so...
No, I'm just saying that the wildfires are damaging the air, but the Americans are like, let's go light off fireworks for 4th of July anyways.
What it sounds like to me, she's saying, in case you speak mostly of the French side of Canada, she said, go get fucked, and thanks for nothing, you bunch of hillbillies.
No! I'm obviously insulting our country. Let's move to Canada.
Our country's insulting the world.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, let's get on to it then. Let's go down with our this week's icebreaker. Oh, Justin!
What now?
How much does a polar bear weigh?
How much does a polar bear weigh?
Enough to break the ice. Ah! Ah! Ah!
I hate it here!
So, the icebreaker this week is, would you rather fight the nearest person to you every time you sneeze, or forget how to read one random week every month?
What?
You just, 1 week out of the month, you completely lose the ability to read. Now, that's going to be very complicated. It doesn't sound too bad because you can figure out your way from home to work and back home again, or to the store because you've taken those routes so many times. But you're going to have to read names of customers that come in for the portraits, and phone numbers, which you're no longer going to be able to identify the markings, which are numbers. But on the other hand of that, if you're going to fight the nearest person, you have to, every time you sneeze, that's going to be a wide variety of people depending on who you're with. If you are photographing children and you have a little tickle in your nose, you're going to have to go Rocky on the child's ass and ask them to pose for a nice, pretty portrait. To fucking
Only with your children.
Listen, that's why I drink Beast, because I have to overcome my inhibitions to be able to punch my children.
No, I'm just saying that, like, I can deal with your children differently in the studio than I can other children, because your children, I have no fear of being like, bro, chill the fuck out, okay? Okay. Done. Let's get this photo.
You're calling children bro, and I'm the one drinking Monster?
Blame Karen. At least I haven't said nifty yet.
Fucking Amelia's calling everyone bro now because Trace does it. So, like, you'll tell her to do something, she'll be like, bro. What the fuck? You're 4 years old.
She's also my mini. What do you mean?
Get her a Monster, since she's going to start talking like a Kyle.
But, the answer to that is actually relatively easy for me.
What is it? If you also considered your Discord?
I struggle with memory issues right now anyway, so like...
But it's not memory issues, though. It's being able to read. All of those messages you get angry about all day, every day. You're just...
So I get a week vacation from the Discord.
That's true, you would.
Still easy.
Oh, okay. That's your answer?
Also, I'm too broken to fight people, so...
Is she broken to fight
easy.
people?
Bro, I'm in a knee brace.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, emotionally broken.
No! Physically broken.
So this was about to turn into a therapy session.
Physically broken. I'm in a knee brace. I broke my ankle by running. What do you expect me to do?
You don't have to win the fight. You just have to start it.
I would probably punch you and break my hand, and you'd be fine.
I start calling you Mr. Glass.
Oh, the dude on SpongeBob. I fell down the stairs and broke every bone in my body. They're all made of glass.
Well, I think this is the first time SpongeBob's gotten brought into the podcast.
No regrets.
Oh, man. So you're cool with taking the week break every month?
Yeah, it's a vacation.
I'm going to have to go with fighting people. I spittled, I apologize. So a lot of the time I'm at work. I was originally, for the last 4 months, 5 months, working 2 jobs full time. So there was almost always a chance that I was at work. And the pizza place that I worked at was fucking shit. We're not going to talk about it. But the other place that I still work... You good?
Yeah. I told you I'm just dying. It's fine.
Fucking do it a little bit quieter for everyone's sake. God damn.
Sorry, it's just a tickle.
The people that I work with, though, I would not mind punching. In fact, I may start sniffing dust just to get it done. You can snort some salt and pepper or something. We paid a guy 50 cents in high school to snort a pile of salt and pepper.
See, the biggest thing when I was in school was, like, always snorting sugar. Like, you didn't even have to pay anyone or dare anyone. Like, they were just straight up, like, oh, heh, look at this. I'm gonna snort the sugar and be cool.
You think that led down a darker path for them later in life?
I mean, but, like, also, we went to school in a place where one of the biggest rumors was about a girl and a cob of corn.
I'm pretty sure I know what the rumor was. Is that she was, if you're brave enough, anything's a dildo kind of lifestyle?
Uh-huh.
And corn was the weirdest thing?
I don't know, because apparently it happened before I started school there, but...
I mean, you can't yuck some people's yum. Some people like butter. Other people like fluids that shouldn't be on food.
Some people like food on things that shouldn't be on. I don't know.
Are you kink shaming now?
No.
You guys grew up in a very sex positive family.
No, I mean,
and now you're sitting
so
here.
like, okay, can I just talk shit about the mustard and ricotta cheese? Okay, I'm sorry. What? What was that?
I have not. I don't know where it came from. The TikTok, I would assume.
It's not ricotta.
No, cottage cheese. My brain's broken. Ricotta. You know what got me the piccata chicken? The chicken piccata and the cottage cheese. It's fine. My brain's just...
I don't think you're only physically broken.
No, why do you think I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow?
For your brain cancer. Damn it. Okay.
Apparently it's normal. My brain's not normal. Let's not even lie.
We're only in 17 minutes, I think we've established. Alright, so we're going to take 2 different approaches, and you're going to take the week off, and I'm going to punch people every time I sneeze.
Just stay away from me during allergy season.
You're in a dangerous spot right now.
How far would you say that's between you two there?
It's longer than my arms reach.
If I just come all the way over here, just kind of hang out over here.
Are you going to record from over there the rest of the time?
But it might not be me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
All right. Well, I think we've set out to accomplish what we set out for. So, if you're ready to move on.
Okay.
Fuck, I am. So, another segment that we do quite regularly, because there's a lot of dumb in the world, and since you're not familiar with the podcast, since you don't love me enough to listen to it, is our newsworthy Neanderthals segment. And maybe I'll just pretend like you listen and you know how the podcast works because you love me as your brother-in-law and you're a cool person. We'll just pretend all that's true.
Of course I love
So
you.
I'll explain to just the new people who are listening for the first time. Newsworthy Neanderthals is when we find news stories of people doing things dumb in the news. Very cut and clear. You would not believe how often there are dumb things that people do in the news. A lot of the time you kind of suspect maybe it's Florida man stories, but quite often it happens everywhere else. So today we are going to look at someone in China. So it's not the U.S. We're not fucking up everything this time.
Breaking news. This just in.
Everyone, big dumb.
So before we get started on it, I have to ask, have you had bad dates before? Or if you need to make it more broad, something terrible that a boyfriend has done in public, or just... I'll kind of leave it to you to mull over on what you think you want to throw out there.
I mean, do you mean bad isn't just like generally boring and it was just
not necessarily, but just something that's just like outrageously outside the norms of what you'd expect when it comes to either a relationship or dating?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
You want to elaborate at all?
No, not really.
It's just weird corncob butt stuff?
No. It was asshole years ago. You know, all of that was just actually all wrong.
I didn't know if you had a specific example of something he had done that not necessarily is bad to talk about, but just was like, why would you do that?
No, just 5 years of regret.
Just 5 years of why did you do that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Pretty much.
All right, well, dating can be difficult, and a lot of the times it kind of blindsides you. There are things you have to learn about new people as you get further involved with them, and sometimes the more you learn about someone, the worse it kind of gets, and maybe you start to meander about whether or not you're supposed to continue with them or not. So this man in China ended up in a legal battle after walking out on a blind date. Do you have any guess why he may have walked out on the blind date? I can guarantee you will not figure out why he did, but I was just curious what would cause you to walk out on a blind date.
Me, I don't know, but all I can think about right now is when I was in high school and we were told a story about how this dude in China was suing his wife because she had plastic surgery to make herself prettier and she didn't disclose that to him, and then they had like a whole bunch of kids and all of the kids were ugly.
Well, because all the plastic surgery is going to work on the children.
Right, but she didn't disclose the fact that she had plastic surgery, so he thought he was going to have some beautiful babies.
Oh, so he didn't know that she was ugly beforehand.
Right.
I thought you were saying she got
Right.
the surgery while they were together.
No.
So she was beautiful, and he thought the kids were going to be beautiful.
Right, yeah,
And
that's
then
all I could think about
He cranked out some real jungle monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason this guy walked out on his blind date was because she and 23 of her relatives expected him to pay for dinner.
Why would you show up with 23 of your relatives to a blind date? Is this like suddenly, meeting the family, we're engaged, we're gonna get married, like,
Right.
done deal?
I don't know how Chinese culture is as far as dates, but I'm fairly certain, even in the, especially because of the article, it's not normal to bring 23 family members. Typically, you want to give a little bit of an opportunity to meet the person you're going to go on a date with, hang out with them a couple of times, maybe shake and bake them a little bit, and then get to meet their family afterward.
But only, like, the immediate family, not the extended family, or it's, like, the 23 people in the immediate family.
I guess you could, I don't think, well, maybe, I don't know there's 23 people in the immediate family, so.
Don't they still have laws about having children in China?
You're asking the wrong goddamn person. I make a lot of bad assumptions on this podcast, and then later on I learned that I was wrong, and it was like, oh, I'm going to sound like an ass.
No, but, like, I'm not making an assumption because I know it's true, because when I was in college, like, we had a lady, she was in the offices that, went and got the foreign students and whatnot, and she came from China, and she was telling us, like, that was a legit thing, but it was only for the majority race.
I don't know. It's something you could Google later, I guess. Either you can come back next week and let us know. Oh, we have an answer. One-child policy was a program in China that limited most Chinese families to one child each. It was implemented nationwide by the Chinese government in 1980 and ended in 2016.
2016, so it's not still a thing.
I wish somebody limited me to one child. God damn.
Well, I mean, technically you are the majority race, so
Could not
the government
fucking
would have
pull out of an
if you were
open
in
barn.
China. I guess it was more so like a diversity thing. I guess. I don't know.
Have you seen how many people there are in China? There's too goddamn many.
I know.
They're fucking probably outnumbering the rats. Anyway, the man, identified in local reports as Mr. Liu, found his prospective partner, Ms. Zhang, through a matchmaker and arranged to meet her at a popular restaurant in the Jilin province. To Liu's surprise, Zhang arrived at the restaurant accompanied by 23 relatives who joined them on their date. I don't know, like I said, what's customary as far as meeting the family or dating when it comes to China. But if I'm going to go to a dinner with a blind date and 23 of her family members show up, I expect them to do a lineup blowjob as well.
I once read this story. I don't think, like, this just sticks to China and, like, their culture and whatnot. I don't think it has anything to do with that, because I once read this story on Reddit. This dude was asking if he was the asshole for walking out on a date because this girl was like, hey, you want to go out on a date and get some dinner or something, like blah, blah, blah. And then she took her child and her friends and expected the dude to pay for all of them.
I think I'd heard about that before.
And they completely ignored him the entire time. I think it was like a Denny's or something.
Oh, that's a romantic restaurant.
Right?
There's
shitty people everywhere.
So the restaurant staff later informed Liu that the woman's family ordered a significant amount of expensive cigarettes and premium alcoholic beverages. I don't know what kind of restaurant this is, but it sounds like they're fucking living it up there.
I was gonna say.
When Liu was handed the bill, amounting to nearly 20,000 yuan, which is approximately $2,812, he decided to promptly leave the restaurant and leave Zhang and her relatives to settle the cost. It seems fair to me. Like, I'd be willing to pay for me and you because Uncle Roger's not going to have sex with me later, so we have to at least make it.
Hold up, what was the total? I need to do that math.
2,100 or 2,812.
812 divided by. Yeah, let's go 24. We'll include her. So they each. So if you count 24 people, like her and the 23 relatives, that's $170.17 per person.
I don't know what they ordered. I mean, it's cigarettes and alcohol. You can ring up a lot.
Okay, but why do you go on a blind date, bring 23 people, and then on top of it, spend $120 per person?
You would think it was the wedding. They were paying for the reception dinner. I'd be, if it worked out and you were happy with that person and wanted to marry them, I'd be like, we already had the reception, enjoy it. So anyway, he left, and when he did, this upset the family. They did not understand why he would leave. He agreed only to reimburse a fraction of the total cost, offering 4,000 yuan, approximately $562, forcing Zhang to ask her relatives to pay for their share of the total bill. I just burped. That was awful. It tasted like Taco Bell. And I haven't had Taco Bell in like, I don't know, 2 weeks.
That sounds like an issue.
Fucking Kyle's rising up in me. Angered by Lu's offer, Zhang's family decided to take the matter to court, filing a lawsuit against Lu to force him to pay up. The court, however, ruled in Lu's favor, stating that he should only cover the cost of his own and Zhang's meal, which is approximately 1,400 yuan, or $197. That's still an expensive date. For a restaurant, just the restaurant alone.
$100 for a blind date?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no thank you.
I don't know. Our first date was wing night. Mine and Kristen's. We went to 50-cent wings. And neither of us, upon getting to get our first moment of intimate connection with each other there at the restaurant, gave a shit that we were fucking sauce covered and just mauled the bone like we've been starving for 2 weeks. Chicken wings. It all started with that, and then I broke my tooth on chicken wings.
Oof.
Chicken wings are very special in our relationship. You were here for that. You were here on New Year's Eve. That's when it happened.
Oh, those chicken wings?
Yeah.
I was just about to say, like, now I'm thinking about your chicken wings, bro. Like, I had to make those for dinner.
I was
Okay, not gonna lie, the chicken piccata was good, but like, come on, your wings.
I had to watch a video Russ sent me of wings in the air fryer. They're supposed to make them crispy and really good. And I watched it, and it was something obnoxious. Like, first you pound dry, which is fine because you want it to be crispy, and the wet prevents it from being crispy. But then you have to, like, cook it, I don't remember the temperature, for like 14 minutes. Your typing's loud. Obviously cut that part, Karen. But you had to cook them for 14 minutes, then you like let them rest for 10 minutes, and then you cooked them again at another temperature for like 20 more minutes. Like, how fucking long are you waiting to eat these wings? Like, we make the big 8-pound batches when you come over because we love them, you love them, Tracy will eat them, Amelia will eat a couple of them. So we need 8 pounds of wings to satisfy everybody. And this guy's doing like a full 45-minute per load of wings.
No, your wings don't need that.
Just, you can't do it that way.
I feel like, if anything, like, air fry them and maybe toss them in a broiler or something?
I don't know.
I'm lazy. I use my broiler for a lot.
I'm surprised that you started mouth watering over food because we just ate. I just fed you. And now,
sorry, legit, I don't come here and don't eat anything I don't like and I don't want again.
Well, I appreciate it, but Kristen can start cooking from now on.
She has cooked a lot. I mean, like I just told her the other night, I found a picture of that salmon and rice she makes while you're at work and we have it for lunch or whatever, and that is phenomenal, and I will go for that, but you don't eat seafood.
That's right, I'll eat wings.
It's okay. Next time you'll just have to take whatever morning off and make breakfast sandwiches too.
Oh, okay. I'll do that then. But anyway, that's the general gist of the story. The incident has garnered attention on Chinese social media and prompted discussions regarding the boundaries of social etiquette during blind dates, with many taking Lu's side. I'd like to meet the people who are taking Zhang's side because those are some real fucking assholes. They agree that it was perfectly normal for her to take 23 relatives to a date.
Entitled bitches.
Now, I get having someone be there for the sake of safety, sitting at another table or something.
Right, like that's what I've always heard of.
Perfectly, but you just bring the whole goddamn family.
When you have someone sitting at another table, you're not expecting your date to pay for your friend who's sitting at another table.
Right.
You are, or they are.
Apparently Zhang is. She thinks she's got some good shit to lay out. worth what was it again? $2,800 some dollars?
So, like, let's just round it up to 3,000.
I think Lou would have been better off with a prostitute.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got for that story. You have anything you want to add to it? Or?
Entitled bitches.
Entitled bitches.
That's all I can say.
Now, I would like to say, to level the playing field, there are a lot of horrendous stories about what guys do on dates. And that's what I was offering you to open your personal experience.
Like, if you want to bring that up, like, it still goes in with the entitled, but the whole, I'd buy you dinner, so let's go home and have sex. So that still falls into entitled bitches.
I like the way you think. It's a good line of progression.
Everyone's just entitled these days.
Anymore I feed Kristen, and that's all I get anymore. Oh, I'm getting excited now. Anyway. So, yeah, that's it for our newsworthy Neanderthals this week. I have something for you that you should want to buy. Special delivery!
A package? For me? What's in the box? Oh, it's dumb.
I don't know if you're in the market for a stuffed animal, but I do know that you love cats.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
So Karen said that we needed to cover this because the last time me and Justin tried to cover it, the audio got all junked out and we couldn't use it. So you get to be the new person to discuss this particular item.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You're looking at a calico cat with very large balls prominently displayed between its legs while it's sitting. If Karen can work her movie magic, she will be able to post that up behind us, and you all can witness this giant furry ball. I had made the mistake...
Right here, Karen.
Here. I'd made the mistake of showing Trace. He's very big. He's very big into plushies and stuffed animals and everything. He wants to spend all of his money on stuffed animals constantly. And I don't remember what brought it up, but he was there and he said, "What do you mean cat with balls?" So I had to show him what I was talking about because I was high. So I thought it was a good idea to show the 9-year-old this cat with giant fluffy balls. So I don't know what your opinion is on stuffed animals. I don't know if you're a stuffed animal kind of person.
I sleep with this stuffed animal every night.
Okay, perfect. This thing's got 2 additional pillows for you.
I just like them. But it does help with like the shoulder support and everything. Like, cause I'm definitely one of those people that just sleep like this. So like, it does help. So like, there's a medical reason to it. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not used to seeing cats with balls.
There's nothing medical about that?
Oliver has his chopped off, so... My Oliver.
That's not my Oliver.
My Oliver. I have a kid named Oliver. I told him that there would come these issues. We cannot name the cat the same as your son.
You told him that we're gonna have issues talking about testicles, and that's what the issue is gonna be.
No, I just told him the confusion between my Oliver and your Oliver.
Between the cat
that's
Oliver.
Why your Oliver is Ollie or Bubbers, and my Oliver is Oliver or the baby boy.
Our Oliver is all-eared because Amelia can't pronounce his name. And it's Bub Bub because it transgressed. It was Chub Bub because he was a little chunky baby. So it was Chub Bub, and then it evolved down to Bub Bub.
You know
or
what
Bubs.
actually makes me sad? I didn't get to do newborn photos for either of them because I wasn't in this job then. I
don't know what to tell you. I can't reverse them. If I could, I would reverse them back to being gleam in my eye so I can get some sanity back again. We're a little past that point. And apparently they only progress forward, so... Until they go to school anyway.
I mean, part of your issue is your wife had a mini me for your daughter.
I made a school shooting joke and it just went right over.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, I blame my daughter for all of my children's downfalls. Anyway.
So you blame me? What? Rude?
So the good news is
Offended.
you can get other than just the calico. They do have a black one, black and white one. There you go. There's another one.
Patches?
Patches?
You name him Patches.
For what? The patch on his chest?
Yeah, the patch on his chest, and he has 2 patches. He has 3 patches.
How about the patch of fur on his balls? Oh, they come in different sizes too, so you can have different. Of course, there's an Asian girl with them. I don't know what I mean by that. It sounds racist, though.
I feel like that's not the worst plushie I've seen, though.
All right. Well, it is the worst plushie some people have had the displeasure of coming across. So we've got some reviews to go over regarding what people thought about their experience with this testicle cat.
Not gonna lie, I saw best purchase ever, and I thought we were going in a much different direction because one of my previous jobs, and I was like, okay, sure, we can talk about that too. That's fine. That was an experience in my life.
That will, I'm sure, come up from time to time.
It was a whole year of my life.
I kind of want to quit my very stable, good benefits job to go work at a porn store just to get the life experience.
So, like, I often tell people that was probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. It just sucked because the pay was so low. But the amount of different people I met and the amount of stories I heard, and they weren't all just sex related, of course. It was just generally life stories.
I was going to say, but you made up the rest of your income in stories. Unfortunately, you can't pay the rent with stories.
No.
But you're going to have some interesting things to talk about from time to time.
Absolutely.
To be brought into this.
No.
The anus is beautifully embroidered and doesn't lack for detail. His furry balls are so soft and perfectly handheld. There you go. We got the... If she can perfectly match up the picture to you squeezing the testicles,
I really hope.
I will increase what we pay to her.
I would just be satisfied with her putting it right here, so I could just, like, it's here. But, like, if she could just...
Oh, god damn it. Okay, anyway. His furry balls are so soft and perfectly handheld. This furry feline is absolutely the perfect size and height to rest your arm on while watching TV or taking a nap. He lives on my couch now for all the world to see and admire my intact feline friend. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So, what I took away from this particular review was... I don't know if I'm most disturbed by her praising the attention to detail on the asshole, or that she's announcing to the world that she enjoys cupping the balls because they fit nicely in her hands.
I don't know, but, like, imagine, like, just... I don't know, maybe an ADHD moment, but you're just sitting there watching TV, resting your arm on it, and, like, just bored, and just reach over, just...
It might be the perfect arm length to rest your elbow on the balls and your hand on his head.
Can you imagine if the balls were made like stress balls? That would be the most perfect stuff ever.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess they could. They sell plenty of other things that are not meant to be existing. But, yeah, that would be promoting people to squeeze cat testicles then.
No! You get the stuffy, duh.
You get the stuffy so you don't have to do it to your actual cats.
Exactly.
I don't imagine squeezing cat testicles in real life is going to go well.
But like I said, I've only had my Oliver and Tiger, and they've both been fixed, so neither of them have balls, so...
No, I think that there's another opportunity that Carrie has missed out on. She has said that the balls are perfect for cupping. They fit nicely in her hand. This sounds like this could double up as a dating profile bio.
She likes to cup balls?
Yeah. If that's the guy's thing that she's out there talking to, she's already put out there she's willing to hold your balls.
I mean, I've met guys who really, really like their balls played with. I've met guys who think it feels weird as fuck and don't touch them. So, I feel like she just gotta find the right guy and she can have a perfect match.
It'd be weird to involve the cat, though. have the guy come over and fondle the cat's balls while they're getting to it.
That's bestiality.
Well, as a self note, we will not do icebreaker jokes.
What? Oh, and you need another drink too. Wow.
I need a few more
feel away.
drinks. I think I might need to go find the vape pen.
I got mine right here.
You sure do. You sure do. All right, you want another?
It's unclogged too.
You want another review?
Sure.
All right,
Let's go for it.
Another one of your friends. Oh, this one's from Canada. The fucking maple suckers that you shit talked.
All I said was the wildfire was causing pollution. I didn't say anything bad about Canada. They're so much better than America. They've got at least, like, better health care.
I'm pretty sure I remember you saying there were maple sucking hillbilly sister fuckers.
No, I thought that was you yesterday.
I don't even have a sister.
You got sister-in-laws.
I can't fuck
I
anyone.
feel so loved now. You want to talk about me not loving you, bitch? Please.
This
You
is
got
derailed.
3 sister-in-laws. We might as well just be your sisters at this point.
This is derailed so fast. You even haven't even heard from Lucy.
What's Lucy say?
Lucy says the balls are firm and the body is squishy. Which honestly would make a great tagline for a dating profile by guys. But anyway.
Only if you like dad bods.
Yeah, well, I mean...
A lot of people do.
I put food in people. First you get the food, then you get the
Better
sausage.
to cuddle than a sack of bones, and I know from experience.
Fair enough. Lucy said, I would just like to start by thanking whoever's mind brought me this beautiful piece of art. I personally suggest that they bring this product to a Build-A-Bear so we could choose how full to make the gonads. The missing star, however, is due to the fact that all the stuffing is in its balls, not enough in its body. Wish I could cuddle more than just the gonads. Otherwise, this is a great financial decision. Chef's kiss.
That would be a fantastic idea. Someone needs to create an adult Build-A-Bear where all of the animals have balls and dicks.
I feel like porn stores are missing out on a great opportunity. This sounds like something they could make a lot of money off of.
They really could. I mean, like, I can say that when I worked at the store, the amount of people that we had asking for tails, and, like, we had to say, like, no, we sold them at one point, but they didn't sell well, so the company took them away. But, like, it came back, so, like, that's a fair... I think it could do well.
It could. Bring back the butt plug
But, like,
tails, too.
at the same point, like, especially in my area back home, like... There's not a good store anymore because when I worked there, it was one company, and then, like, not even 6 months after, like, I quit in June, right? October, she had to sell the company to someone else, and they completely ruined it. So there's not a good store in my area. So I have been convinced that if I can even get a business loan to start an adult store in that area, I would do fantastic because I already know what to do.
Bitches.
I already know how to do better.
There you go. If anyone out there is looking to invest in capital venture, Katie's going to start a porn store with tails and a Build-A-Dick station.
There we go, yeah.
Another review, 5 stars here from Lauren, says, great for kids. I bought this for the kids and they loved it, especially the balls. What's your hot take on that one, Cait?
Was it used for a mini anatomy class? Because why else are you...
You hope for a mini anatomy class and not where did the priest touch you at class.
Or you won't get pregnant this way if you do it with the animals?
Do what with the animals?
Bestiality!
Are we encouraging fucking real cats?
No!
Or, okay, it's not weird so long as you're fucking the stuffed cat.
No.
Well, someone's gonna have...
I don't know what people are into.
Someone's gonna have an issue in the next review because they can't fuck the cat. The next one, who chose to be anonymous, probably because of what their review entails, says 3 stars, no anus. The cat is adorable and super soft. The only complaint I have is that the one cat doesn't have an anus. That's why I took away 2 stars.
Is it because they want to look at it, or they want to legit cut
That's
hole out and just
you got a full example you were head for there. You look like you got emotion down pretty pat.
I mean, I'm just thinking, are you just looking at it and just masturbating to that, or is this a dude and he wants to legit cut out the butthole and just kind of woo? I don't know. I don't know. That's my question. What do you want from this thing?
I don't want anything from this thing.
Not this thing. This person.
They wanted the asshole involved. They were
Why?
very upset that there was no anus. Apparently they'd ordered multiple, or maybe just the one, because they said this one didn't have it. So maybe one came with it and one didn't.
But didn't Carrie make a comment about the asshole?
Yeah, she said it was exquisitely embroidered and detailed.
So maybe they are just saying that specific one. I don't know. Or maybe, some of them have assholes and some of them don't. It's a 50-50 chance.
Anything is possible when you buy from China. They're not limiting children anymore, but sometimes they do restrict whether or not buttholes go on cats.
I mean, I have heard about people without buttholes, so...
You know where that shit didn't happen? The human centipede. They all had assholes because that's how they ate.
Let's not. Unless you want to be cleaning up my puke tonight, let's not.
The one thing I took away from this review was that, of course, the person had to be anonymous when they left the review, because you can't go around identifying yourself after exclaiming how upset you are that the anus of a stuffed cat is missing.
Well, obviously.
The only thing that might have made this review slightly worse would have been if the anus had been present, but lacked a scratch and sniff feature. There's another element to this that you hadn't yet thought of yet.
But would it smell bad, or would it smell like I don't know?
It depends on how well your stuffed cat cleans its butthole.
Why do you gotta do that? I don't want a scratch and sniff butthole in a stuffed cat.
I don't want that either for this cat.
I got a stuffed bunny at home. It's probably this big. It's one of the Walmart Easter bunnies that they sell during Easter. It's one of the bigger ones though, but not the really big ones. But one of the bigger of the normal sized plushies.
No,
I don't want to imagine a butthole in that either.
you can't have this cat's asshole be scratch and sniff, because if you look at other scratch and sniff stickers, as you scratch at it to get the scent, you have to tear into it more, which leaves the markings on it, and then people are going to see that your stuffed cat's butthole, that has testicles too, has scratch marks on it, and that's going to lead to a line of questioning nobody is ready for answers for.
I imagine the people who like to eat ass would be very happy though.
That's true. I would hope that the idea behind eating ass is that the person who's receiving gets washed thoroughly first. But I don't know. Maybe there's people that like a little extra spunk for flavor.
Look, man, I just sold shit. I learned not to judge and not to question.
Question.
Do I think things are weird? Yeah, sure. But to each their own, whatever you want to do.
Questioning is how you get answers you weren't ready for.
It's like the dude that, I don't know, man. There was a dude at one point who was in buying something for himself because his girl was pregnant, and then decided to hit on me. My staff member was like, okay, so I sold him the thing, but, can you check him out? Because I have to go to the bathroom and he's low-key creeping me out. And I said, yeah, sure. And then he's hitting on me the entire time after she tells me that, he's in a relationship and she's pregnant and she's just buying this thing because she won't have sex with him. And I'm like, no.
I didn't need any of that. We could have just made this transaction and that been it.
Right. Like, I don't know.
Well, I've got a couple more here. We're getting progressively further into the negative reviews. In addition to being upset about the balls not being full enough or the anus not being present, we have somebody who thinks this is exactly what is wrong with society. So Kevin Cordero says exposing children to sexually themed toys, media, or anything like this at all is morally wrong and unacceptable. Anyone who thinks this is okay for any child needs to reevaluate themselves completely. This needs to be removed or put in an adults only section.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I think that your kind of was wrong with society. Like, on one hand, like, we do need to teach children properly. Because otherwise, like, but, like, I don't know. I kind of get it.
I can see why maybe you don't want to have to explain anatomically correct body parts. However, before we got our animals spayed and neutered, our dog was just prancing around with a ball sack, full of joy, and then we took that from him, and now he's just a derpy, sad motherfucker.
He's a sweet, derpy, sad motherfucker.
And now Trace likes to point out that his balls are gone and that his sack is empty. Like, he doesn't already have enough problems going on in his life that now his owner's kid makes fun of his empty sack.
The biggest argument I see for teaching kids properly is, when it is, did this person touch you there and whatnot? Like, they can accurately, so I guess I personally don't see an issue with that. And, if a stuffed cat with balls helps you explain anatomy to a kid...
There's certainly worse ways. Certainly Ken dolls aren't going to do the job because they're sporting the Ken doll, so not gonna help with pointing out the correct things. So that's Kevin. He thinks that this is a no-go zone for children.
But you also brought up the fact that we were raised very sex positive, so I definitely have a different view as the more conservative people when it comes to sex and whatnot.
As someone who grew up in a conservative religious family, who was very much not encouraged to be sex positive, I for sure disobeyed every opportunity I had. And boy, dial-up porn is the worst. If there is a hell, it is where you have access to pornography.
That's another
but
thing.
dial-up
Like,
internet.
when you were completely honest with your children and upfront about it, you're not hiding things like that. You're not doing things like that. It can be a healthy conversation.
Exactly, which is why Kristen's going to have all the talks with all the children.
Because she had enough years with our mother.
Oh, that's good. Your mother can do it.
Mom? She can just sit down all 4 children together. It's fine if the youngest 2 are a little too young to, it's fine.
If Oliver's 5, it's just gets an earful about what testicles are and vaginas and how penises go in. And he's just
when at 13? Ugh.
And
I don't want to think about that.
Just sitting there open mouth going, I just wanted a snack.
But you can't trust people these days, so I guess having them prepared to at least communicate something with you isn't a bad thing.
I guess. Alright, well, let's see what other people here. We got a couple more. Tommy Doran, 1-star review. His argument is calicos don't have balls.
He's right to a point, but wrong. It is rare for a calico cat to be male, but it is not unheard of. It's just rare. And, it's rare for tabbies to be male. And it's rare for orange... Or, not tabbies, torties. I gotta say with Danny. Tabbies, orange tabbies are more often than not male. It is rare for you to have an orange tabby female. So he's not entirely wrong.
But in a world where stuffed animals are not obligated to follow the laws of reality, He's taken to Amazon to leave them a 1-star review because it's not anatomically correct. Tommy's going to die on this hill. He doesn't care what anyone else has to say about it. Calicos don't have balls.
Tommy sounds like some people in the Discord.
He looks like a fun guy.
Karen, you can cut that out too.
Oh no, any shit talking of Canadians and Discord people get left in.
What? Yeah.
I rule around here.
I'm not naming any names.
This is my shots to call.
I'm not naming any names though.
Last review we have is from Lucy, who also rated it 1 star and says, "Why does it have balls? It is a cruel depiction of an animal."
Cruel? It's natural.
Lucy is a woman who claims that it is cruel for a creature to have balls. And I, for one, as someone with said testicles, have to thank Lucy because it is cruel to have testicles. The world treats you so meanly if you are a cis white man because you have the testicles. And it's good that someone of the opposite gender can see my struggles.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the doctor and I'm like, I wish I had a dick right now.
For what purpose?
Bro, yearlies? Oh, no thank you.
They cup your balls too.
Oh, and the tri-monthly depot? Oh, I'm sorry, go get a shot in your ass every 3 months. It's not fun. And they gotta switch sides each time too. If you did left side the right time, you gotta do the right side next time.
How many physicals do you think you can schedule with a doctor, the same doctor, in a rather rapid succession before they come to realize and reject your appointments because you're coming in just to get your balls fondled? I mean, if you have good insurance that you don't really pay anything into and they cover physicals, it's cheaper than a date.
I mean, wouldn't the doctor want that, though? Because aren't they getting paid for that? Like...
maybe at some point the money's not worth touching someone's balls when they're clearly getting off on it. At some point, you're just feeding into someone's kink. And no amount of money is going to fix that mentally.
But at that point, like, did I ever tell you about the phone call I had that had me on the floor? Like, I legit, so, like, my boss came out, and I was, like, just on the floor, I quit! And she goes, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do. And she goes, why? This dude had called. You know, the part of the store name was the store for lovers. Mm-hmm. He called, and he goes on a tangent about how he hasn't had any female contact in, like, so many years. It was, like, 7 to 10 or something like that. He hadn't had female contact because his fiance passed away, and he was just so torn up over it, and he was trying to get back into dating, but of course COVID, you know, made a big mess of things. And he thought that online dating was a scam. So he thought that we were a store for lovers.
So you were going to provide him escort.
And I quote, female companionship.
At least he didn't call it a fuck doll.
Nope, he just wanted female companionship, and he thought online dating was a scam.
Well, I mean, I did online dating, and... So anyway...
You ended up with 2 beautiful kids.
The other one's not so much.
I was going to say, the other one you decided to take in, which is even more beautiful.
Of course, I lovingly care for my family, and I'm super grateful that that's the route that life has taken.
Did you?
And by no means have taken 2 jobs in my life just to not be at home ever.
Oh, I'm sure you actually hated having 2 jobs.
It's fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. Alright, well, that's all I've got for the stuffed ball cat. It's only $20 if you're interested in buying it.
$20?
You are...
Is that for one of the bigger ones, though?
Probably not. It's probably one of the smaller ones, knowing how stuffed animals work on Amazon. Oh, you can also apply a 5% coupon right now. And if you get it during Prime Day, maybe it'll be on sale more.
I don't know, because I feel like I got a hell of a good deal on Gwen's Appa that I bought her the one year, and I tied a whole... Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Tying a whole bunch of balloons to a stuffed animal and doing the math to, like, how many balloons do I need to make this thing fly?
So, I was... Okay, it's, I think it's a 35-inch.
So the bigger one?
It's not the biggest one, because there's a 45-inch as well.
A 45-inch?
It's almost 4 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
35 would be about 3 feet. What about Ollie?
So,
Oh, it's not 3
like...
feet.
Oh, Jesus. That's like when people... Like, when I had this person ask me, we have a 24 by 36 canvas, and we sell it 24 by 36 canvas. Like, it's inches, right? And I was trying to sell this bundle to someone one day, and they're like, so that's a 2 foot by 3 foot canvas? And I'm like, why you gotta say it like that? Like, that sounds like so much worse. 2 foot by 3 foot? Like, why?
At least they didn't, like, give measurement of toddler sizes or something. Like 1.5 of Tommy. Alright, that's all I've got on this cat. I hope you've enjoyed it. And you look forward to buying it. If it is, in fact, 30, however many inches, it's quite...
I am thinking about a cat with balls now, actually. Like...
we've got a Christmas present for you, then. It's not too far out of the realm, because we did 3D print my brother a Dickosaurus, which is a T-Rex body and a head of the penis for a head.
So, like, speaking of 3D printing, I don't know if, like, I want to buy material and ask to use your guys's, or, like, there's a place near me that, like, they charge hella cheap per hour. They provide all the materials. You just have to sit there the entire time your project's printing.
That could be obnoxious depending on what you get, because some things are multiple day prints. They probably have it sped up so that it's not so bad, but...
Probably, but like...
I have everything at default settings, so I don't know how to fuck with any of that shit.
Can I have that thing? I'm gonna play.
Don't worry, we're almost done, then you can play with your toy.
Just
Alright, last thing...
fidgety. I need something to fidget. I'm just a very fidgety person.
You just...
It helps me concentrate and think. Like, it's been a thing since, like, as long as I can remember. Like, I remember 5th grade doing Destination Imagination, and we were practicing our skit, and I was just sitting there, and I kept a pencil on my necklace, and I was just... And the teacher in charge was like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. It helps me concentrate and remember and think. And, like, I need it.
It sounds like you have ADHD from hell.
Probably. But, you know, I am also a woman, so...
Well, if we can get you a toy to play with that will be not distracting for the sound to pick up or something like that, we will do so.
Much appreciated.
All right. Well, we'll let you get out of here on our final segment. This one, since you are not familiar with the show, is called The Worst of Humanity. Now, for this episode, I did have a picture that I wanted to show you, just something to dwell on. But I don't know yet if Karen can get the green screen to show pictures yet. So to alleviate her work for this episode, your flower fell out, by the way.
I'm the flower child. I can't not have my flower. Y'all are gonna have to, like, set this up so your children don't lose it.
There's a million of those things floating around, I'm sure. So to alleviate her having to do green screen work if she hasn't quite figured it out yet, we're gonna do what was typically our Worst of Humanity. The Worst of Humanity that we've always wrapped up episodes with was a Urban Dictionary word. You're familiar with Urban Dictionary, I assume? Okay.
Yeah.
So there is some wildly obnoxious things on Urban Dictionary. But we primarily focus on... I said things that don't make noise. Primarily focus on what might be considered a Kama Sutra of don'ts. In fact, I had made a few jokes before that I wanted to make a printable book of all of these positions and sex acts that we've covered and call it the Kujunatra. So maybe we'll get around to that one day eventually. So the word that I want you to do, or what we do is I'll give a word from the Urban Dictionary, and then you have to give your best guess of what you think that word means.
Oh, God.
Okay?
Oh my god, who thinks of this shit? Hey, quick, come here, take a look at this.
Why would you show me that?
I don't want to suffer alone.
This is the worst of humanity.
I have a word from memory, one that we were going to use at one point but never did. I just need to pull up my interwebs and find where my icon is for that. So the word is going to be suicide wank. You are familiar with those two concepts individually, I would assume.
Yeah.
What do you think a suicide wank is, according to Urban Dictionary?
Wow. I would assume two things. It's one of two things.
Uh-huh.
It's either the last wank you do before you commit suicide, or it's that good of a wank that you basically kill yourself. You're dead. You can't. Ugh. I can't.
I don't want to ask you for introspective into your personal life, but have you had many of those?
No!
Because I don't think I've ever once thought, well, that was great. I could just die now and it would be fine.
No. I mean, like, I haven't thought about that, like, in terms of that, but, like, there have been moments in my life where, like, I'm like, okay, I'm happy. I've completed my life goals. I can die happy.
Your life goals of getting off?
No!
Oh.
I said not in that way.
I thought you were talking about the wanking specifically.
No! Not wanking specifically, but, like, just in general. There's things that, like, okay, I can die happy.
My problem with... the idea of the finishing and it being so good that you can die now. I don't want to die, but I do quite often fall asleep afterward. And I used to mock with the whole what do you call it, stereotype of men falling asleep after they finish. And I just blame being a father now. I think that's it's just, I'm exhausted anyway.
No, it's scientifically proven that having sex releases melatonin, serotonin, melatonin and serotonin. So, like, you're happier and you sleep better.
Why the fuck have I been taking NyQuil to get to sleep?
But at the same time, like, if you have morning sex, like, that is scientifically proven to be more effective than coffee.
Gonna have some discussions after this. Alright, so which one do you want to lock in your guess being?
I feel like it's more so the second one rather than the first one.
Okay. Normally I would play along and give a guess as well, but I did see the answer beforehand when I looked at this before, so I do know what it is. So I can't give a meandering guess and play along this time. But I do have the answer for you when you're ready.
What?
Okay. A suicide wank is when you're having a wank just before they load, shout out mom or dad, and then try to finish the job before they come into your room.
Why?
So, we like to educate people on this podcast, so we do talk about dumb people and the dumb things that people do, but we like to try to make the world a better place than when we found it. So, in order to do that, we've provided now this new Urban Dictionary slang term that people can implement into their daily lives to help you cement how to properly use it. Urban Dictionary does provide a sentence suggestion for how you would use it. The example is, a friend tried a suicide wank and won. He did it and failed the second time. Which means he's got a nice, long, awkward remaining time at home before he can leave and never see his parents again.
My question is, did he do it with one parent the first time and then switch to the second parent and see if he can do it both, or did he try the same parent both times?
Listen, I don't have answers beyond what I was just given.
That is a good question, though. Like, he succeeded. If he succeeded the first time, was he like, okay, can I do it to the other parent now?
I'm curious because it does tell you who submitted it.
Oh God.
But it doesn't seem to allow you to contact him in any way, which is probably for the better. I don't know. I guess you're just going to have to run the scenario in your head and decide which way it went.
I think I like the idea of let's try it on the other parent.
You like the idea of doing it to your
Oh, assuming that both parents are together. I'm sorry, I guess I'm kind of jumping the gun there, too.
Right, I mean, we only live in America where 50% of marriages fail.
Right.
We're done, what'd you think?
Simple enough.
Simple enough, good enough for me. So we want to give the people an opportunity to follow the podcast and us individually, or I guess from now me until you've gotten a little more established.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
So if you are interested in following the podcast specifically, you can find us at a multitude of platforms. We are on Facebook. We have a group called Overdue for Extinction where you find people will submit articles, topics related to dumb people and things. What are you doing?
I'm counting how many ways.
Okay, keep track of the social media because I'm probably going to lose track too. Not that you even know what all of our social media platforms are yet.
I did happen to see that earlier. I did find that somewhere. But
we also have a Discord, the link of which is in our Facebook. Cait is not part of the Discord because she continues to hate me.
Okay, no. So I honestly, when I found that earlier, I thought about joining, but with my brain right now, I'm sorry, I forgot my controller at home.
I started the Discord so that people would have a place to bullshit about the podcast, about dumb things they heard and found. What it's turned out to be was Zuckerberg is ban-hammering, that's the right correct word I was looking for, ban-hammering people for posting too spicy of a meme. So Discord has kind of become a safe place to post the really obnoxious memes, and if you need an example of what we've been posting in there, one of my personal favorites is a picture of Jesus with the holes in his hands from where the nails went, and it says, "What those handholes do." So you can find the link to the Discord channel server in the Facebook group. You can also find us on Instagram at Overdue for Extinction, where we post a lot of content related to the podcast. You'll see pictures of things we talked about in the episodes. You can follow us on Twitter at O4EPod, that's O the number 4E pod, where we announce upcoming episode drops, potential updates, important announcements, things like that. That's just kind of a quick, hey, here's what you need to know, and then that's it. If you are into Threads, which is Zuckerberg's new attack on Twitter, it's a great battle between him and Elon Musk. We are over there as well at Overdue for Extinction. What else are we on? You know all the things, right?
Did you list? You didn't get TikTok yet.
No, not yet. TikTok, we are on there as well, at Overdue for Extinction as well. We don't have a lot of videos yet. I've posted a couple things here and there. Cait and I are going to do a lot of dumb things, possibly trying some dumb things food-wise, maybe playing some dumb little mini-games. I think maybe the one-chip challenge Cait will do by herself.
That's fine.
You do the one-chip challenge?
I have wanted to do that since, I've worked at the gas station, and some dude was like, I'll pay you $10 to do it. And I'm like, nah, no thanks. And he's like, I'll pay you $20 to do it. And I'm like, nah, no thanks. It's gotta be, worth something for me.
It's bad. It hurts so bad. I was a bitch about it when Russ and I did it.
You are such a bitch.
We did it, and I chose to have a big mug of milk because I knew it was going to hurt, and I refused to just buckle down and suffer. So when we did it, I had the milk ready, and then I chugged a bunch of it, and then it just kept getting worse, and so I kept pouring more and more. I think I drank a half a gallon of milk in like a 20-minute period, and then went outside and threw it all up, and I felt better immediately afterwards.
Did you eat the whole chip though?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe like a small sliver fell out of my mouth or something, but yeah, I ate the chip.
Hey man, next time it comes out, like I'll totally buy one and save it just for this.
Oh.
Like, let's do it.
I thought you were talking about the chip coming out of your body, not out of the store, because it definitely comes out of the body.
No, I mean like, so like when I worked at the gas station, we only had that specific one for a certain time, so you could only buy it like it was a limited time thing.
Fair enough.
So next time it's found, buy it, or I'll buy it, and I will totally do it.
I'll think about doing it. It hurt real bad.
You'll do it with me?
Maybe. We'll see.
Can we get Kristen to do it too?
Kristen won't do fuck all like that.
So we got those 6 Patreon?
Patreon I took down, but we can put back up. We're going to have to make some additional bonus content worth buying, but...
I didn't know that was on the list that I saw, but I think you covered everything else that I saw.
Good enough. If you want to follow me personally, I am on basically every goddamn thing that I've just mentioned. You can find me at TikTok, Twitter, Threads, and Instagram at Unfeeling Dragon, all one word, exactly spelled as it sounds. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, I have made myself a podcast creator page, so you can follow me on there as well. I do mostly shit posting, but every once in a while, a nugget of genius will come from my mouth.
I will say I may not have actually watched any of the podcast episodes, but the amount of reels that I find in the wild.
Yes, we are trying to get more of those put together, and I think I'll have to get to work and put something.
But I found quite a few of those in the wild. Like the last one, I didn't even realize was you with Justin until I was like halfway through it, and I'm like, "This is entertaining. Wait, what is this?" And then I saw your name on it. I'm like, "Oh," and then I looked down. And I'm like, "Yeah, that is Anthony." Okay.
So, you can follow me on those places, follow the podcast in the same places, or those same username tags. And if you want to follow Cait, you'll have to stand outside of her bedroom window because she doesn't have a lot of social media presence yet, but we will force her into it so you can talk to her as well.
I don't have any windows in my house. I think, like, in my whole house, I have 8 windows.
Okay,
There's 2 in the kitchen, 1 in the back bedroom, 1 in the side bedroom, like the middle bedroom, 2 in the front bedroom, so that's 2, 4, 6, and then 2 in the living room.
Okay, so not a lot of windows that you can get a good view of Cait's life, but if you break into her house and you hide out under her bed, you can lick her feet when she gets up in the morning.
Let's
I feel like that's a promise we can keep here at Overdue for Extinction.
Not the feet.
Okay, everything else is fine, not the feet.
I
You've heard it here first from the source.
I have a hard limit of feet.
Anything you want to say other than limiting where they can lick you before we sign off?
No, I don't think so.
Alright, well, thanks for listening. Hopefully you'll come back next week. We'll have some more content for you. And in the meantime, stay safe and stay smart.
That's asking a lot.
Overdue for extinction.